guys, and welcome back to Reading Club. So today I'm going to read you Daisy and the Trouble with Vampires, Chapter 9 and Chapter 10. Chapter 9. The trouble with the Holy Man is I never really knew who he was. I'd heard my friends talking about him at Vicky Caro's Halloween party, but to be honest, I don't think anyone I know has ever really known who he truly is or where he truly comes from, or what he truly looks like, or what he truly does. Jack Beatriceau did, though. According to Jack Beatriceau, the Holy Man isn't made out of sheets, gum, bats, or even meat. He's a skeleton made out of cobwebs, or at least he's a skeleton with so many cobwebs on him, he looks like he's made out of cobwebs. When Jack told everyone how the Holy Man turned into a skeleton covered in cobwebs, he didn't even need to whisper. It was so scary. Apparently, about 1,000 years ago, a farmer's boy called Fernando received an invitation to a Halloween party. Fernando lived in a small village at the bottom of a mountain. On top of the mountain was a castle, and inside the castle lived the people who were having the party. What Fernando didn't know was that he was the only person in the village who had been sent an invitation. What he also didn't know was that the people in the castle who invited him weren't people at all. They were ghosts. Not the ugly ones with sheets on their heads, the ones without sheets that looked normal. When Fernando arrived at the party, everything seemed to be all right. There were lemonade and party hats and everything. But just before midnight, as the full moon began to rise, the ghosts asked Fernando if he wanted to play Halloween hide-and-seek. Because Fernando was so little, he was really good at hide-and-seek, and so he was really keen to play. "Run, Fernando! Hide, Fernando!" said the ghosts, covering their eyes and then turning to face the wall. "Hide in the very best place you can, and we will come looking for you when we've counted to 100. Fernando ran to the west wing of the castle and found a small wardrobe in a child's nursery to hide in. Once inside, he closed the door, hugged his knees, and waited. And waited, and waited, and waited. Days went past. Weeks went past. Months went past. And still no one came looking for Fernando. Years went past. Leap years went past. And still there was no sign of Fernando ever being found. After about 35 years, Fernando gave up hiding and tried to get out of the wardrobe. But he couldn't, because he wasn't a little boy anymore. He had grown up into a man. "Why didn't the ghosts go looking for him?" Gabby asked. "They did," said Jack. "But only once they'd finished doing all of their counting." "They only had to count to 100, I said. 100 years, whispered Jack. "When ghosts play Halloween hide-and-seek, they don't count up to 100 in ones. They count up to 100 in years." 100 in years? Everyone gasped. 100 in years, Jack nodded. 100 years later, when the ghosts finally went looking for Fernando, ready or not, all they found in the wardrobe was the wedged-in skeleton of a grown man in a party hat covered in cobwebs. "Fernando!" gasped Gabby. "Fernando," said Jack. "Fernando had climbed into his hiding place a boy, but had died in his hiding place a man. A man that legend now calls the Holy Man. Just a party hat, cobwebs, and bones." It was the most blood-freezing story anyone in the playground had ever heard. "Why did he change his name from Fernando to the Holy Man?" I asked. He was adopted by owls, said Jack. It was owls who went hoo-hoo that kept him alive all those years, by flying into the nursery and feeding him field mice. Ah, said Gabby. Field mice? I wouldn't eat a field mice if I was the last owl on earth. You would if your life depended on it, said Jack. Why didn't the owls tell Fernando that the ghosts were counting up to 100 in years? Asked Barry Morley. Why didn't the owls tell Fernando's mom and dad that he was trapped in the castle? Asked Sandra Lepore. Who knows? Whispered Jack. The only thing I can tell you is that at midnight on Halloween night, when the moon is full, the holy man goes hunting. Hunting for what? I gasped. A new wardrobe to hide in. Jack shivered. The trouble with new wardrobes to hide in is the one in my bedroom is only 3 months old. Plus, it's got really nice handles on the doors. What if he chose a nearly new one with really nice handles? I said, not wanting to give too much away. The only way to stop the holy man once he's inside your wardrobe is to grab his party hat, tear it into 100 pieces, and then get all the cobwebs off him with a feather duster, said Jack, as we walked back to our class for afternoon lessons. A feather duster made out of golden dodo feathers. But golden dodo feathers are extinct, said Gabby. Exactly, said Jack, and so will you be if the holy man comes knocking tomorrow night, especially if it's midnight. You're alone in your bedroom, the owls are hooting, the werewolves are howling, the zombies are gunging, the witches are cackling, the vampires are flapping, your mom is asleep, and there's a full moon. Chapter 10. When I woke up on Saturday morning, all I wanted to do was stay in bed and hide under my covers. Because now it wasn't just Halloween week anymore. It was actual Halloween night day. Trouble is, Mom said I had to come downstairs for my breakfast. When does Halloween night day stop and Halloween night actually start? I asked her. It doesn't start at all in our house, Daisy, she said. In our house, October the 31st is just a day like any other day. But if we lived in someone else's house, what time in the day would Halloween night actually begin? I haven't really thought about it, said Mom. I'd thought about it a lot. Say we lived in Jack Beatrice's house, I said. Would Halloween night start when it starts to get dark, or would it start when everything outside is well dark? If we lived in Jack Beatrice's house, then it would probably be Halloween all day, every day, said Mom. What if someone knocked on our door at 9 o'clock in the morning and said, trick or treat? Would that mean Halloween day had finished and Halloween night had started? No, Daisy, it wouldn't, said Mom. Trick-or-treaters don't knock on doors on Halloween morning. Trick-or-treaters are only allowed to go trick-or-treating at nighttime. Jack Beatrice says he never goes trick-or-treating, I said. You surprise me, said Mom. Jack Beatrice says he only goes trick-or-treating. That doesn't surprise me, said Mom. Jack Beatrice says treats are for wimps. Jack Beatrice says he only goes trick-or-treating. That doesn't surprise me, said Mom. Jack Beatrice says treats are for wimps. Does he now? Said Mom. You should hear some of the Halloween tricks Jack Beatrice says he done on people, I said. I have a feeling I'm about to, sighed Mom. He's put a real alive python through someone's letter box, I said. He's put soldier ants down someone's chimney, and he's filled a postbox with super sucking quicksand. Once he even took the batteries out of a lighthouse so the lights didn't work. Loads of ships crashed onto the rocks because of his trick-or-treat game. I'm sure his mom and dad will be very pleased to hear that, said Mom. His mom and dad don't care, I told her. Jack says he's allowed to do whatever he wants whenever he wants to do it. He says he can go out on his bike anywhere he wants as late as he wants, even when there's a full moon. I doubt that very much, said Mom. It's true, I told her. It's true. So that's the end of this channel. I hope you enjoyed my readings of it. And if you did, please click many likes and subscribe Reading Club. So I'll come back later with a new and improved channel. Bye everybody!